I've got some stuff in the sites that I do that aren't necessarily driven by WordPress at all. It's just WordPress is a conduit to get that particular product on the market. WordPress.
Hey, what do you think about Steve Jobs? It's kind of sad, huh?
Well, yeah, it is sad in a lot of ways, but think too that for a short period of time he impacted a lot.
That's what I'm saying, because I'm a PC guy, but I understand even as a PC guy what this guy did to make computers an everyday kind of thing.
Yeah.
And who's next in line now that he's gone? Bill Gates ain't gonna do it. He's already gotten out of it. He just got somebody else running the show.
Yeah.
So who's next in line? Who's doing that kind of shit now?
Well, everybody's kind of living off of the web and what the web. If you're web enabled and you're out there doing things that are making you money, being web enabled, then you're in the right spot right now.
I know, but the digital age needs a mentor, and now that Steve Jobs is gone, who's going to run with it? It's not Jawowski or whatever the other guy's name is. His second guy.
No, Wazinski.
He's kind of dropped out.
Whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, he's jumped out of it.
Well, he his personality is that he's an engineer, he's quirky and all this other stuff, but he may be ADD, bipolar, or whatever, but he's not the kind of person that can lead like.
Right, I think he is ADD from what I read about the guy.
Well, but those kinds of people, usually are. They're creative and they're really thinking beyond what's going on today. I mean, Jobs' biggest thing is his philosophy of design and execution of detail were unparalleled. I mean, he had such control over every aspect of that. In fact, had he released the operating system and the hardware to other vendors and not controlled it as much, he would be on all the desktops now instead of.
I know, but the fact that he doesn't that make it different? Because if he had, it would have been just like the PC market, and there's no leader now. There's no one person that kind of runs and says, here's the way PCs ought to go. But Jobs was that because they held it close to their chest.
Well, I understand his concern for quality control, and it was a move that caused him to have not as meteoric growth as Bill Gates, but slow and steady.
Yeah, it was a quality kind of thing. It was a quality of design.
Quality in every way.
And there's nobody now.
But he had his hits and misses. Everybody's had their hits and misses.
All right, so his miss was the Newton.
The Newton, the Lisa, the first web PC thoughts that they had. I mean, they've had several that you just.
And Microsoft's miss is the Zune. I read where they're stopping production on the Zune now.
Yeah, the Zune gone. The Zune is.
And the HP's stopping their tablets.
The Zune marketplace. When you went out of Zune, their marketplace, I liked it better than iTunes.
Well, you told me that because your kids have a Zune, but they just couldn't saturate. They couldn't get that market share.
They didn't have that momentum that Microsoft and that Apple had.
And the problem with Jobs being gone is, where does it go now? Everything's kind of non-directional.
Well, design-wise, their product should continue to have a really cool design. Take that precedent and that standard for that design-wise. Innovation, I'm not sure how much Jobs was a part of, or Wozniak, or whatever his name is. Nobody ever knows his name before that. He's like that third tenor, third tenor that I don't know his name, but he's that third tenor,
Now, let me ask you about innovation. You think it's all done now, or is there still room to grow in terms of innovation?
As long as mankind is breathing, innovation is going to continue to flow. Jobs was a great conduit for that innovation, and his company was a great conduit, but the next guy will step up to the plate. I mean, our society is still really young and big and everything, so I don't know. Somebody will step up.
You think somebody will step up and fill the void?
Yeah, and it'll be somebody out of who knows where. It will be somebody.
Maybe the Facebook guy or
Facebook,
something, you know?
The Zuckerman or Google guys even. I mean, Google has got the momentum for everything right now.
Yeah, the problem with Google is you got the two guys that started it, but you never hear about. I mean, Google's doing everything. Google's pushing the edge as Google the entity, not as Google the founder. You know, I mean, those two guys. I guess maybe they control the direction philosophically or the culture because they combine into one. It's not one person that's doing it. It's like a corporation.
At the risk of sounding like some kind of neo-Nazi freak or whatever, I think Google is in bed with our federal government pretty deep, and there's no telling what kind of, Google. Did you ever see the pictures of the cars? I took pictures of the autonomous cars. These are cars where a guy sits in the passenger seat and can take control of the car if he needs to.
No, you never sent that to me.
He sits in the passenger seat and he can take control of the car if he needs to, but otherwise the Google car drives itself. And it's the car that's going around and recording the street scenes.
Right,
when you
right,
go to the
right.
street scene and you drop your little guy
right.
and he lands on the street and you can see 360 with him.
You think it's a Big Brother kind of thing?
These autonomous cars, well, if the federal government has access to know all of that about every street, 360-degree view of every street in the nation. I remember reading somewhere in the Bible it's talking about the census, and if you were to do the census, it was a bad thing or whatever. I can't remember.